I'm Amy, and this is going to be my first through hike. We are going to be doing the CDT, leaving this Sunday, which is in 2 days. And this is my base weight. This is my backpack. It's the Gossamer Gear Mariposa 60. It weighs just a little bit over 2 pounds. Compared to my old backpack, it is completely ultra light. I feel like my old backpack was probably like at least 5 pounds, and it was huge, so it allowed me to put more stuff in there, which I don't necessarily need. Although having room is great, it's also a lot of weight, and that is not something that you want for a through hike. It's a bucket backpack, so you fill from the top. It has a little pouch in the front and a long pouch on the side, 2 small pouches on the other side. The hip belt has 2 pouches, and then the fun thing about this guy is the back side padding comes out, and that can be turned into a seat or a nice little pad for the dogs to lay on or something like that. It also, that didn't come with the bag, but it's an extra accessory, is the shoulder pouch. It will come in handy for my camera gear that I need easily accessible, as well as a notepad, so if I have a thought that I need to write down, it's easily accessible, so I will do it more often than not having to dig into my bag for it. And then it also has one more pouch on the lid where you can put easily accessible things as well. So it's pretty simple backpack, pretty light, and I like it so far. So there's my bag. These are the Lecky women's trekking poles. They have a good locking system. My other trekking poles kind of, like, if you were walking, they would unlock and then they'd start sliding down. That was a little bit of annoying. So they're a little bit more sturdy, and they also have an adjustment for height. And these are women's size, so the handles are supposed to fit women's hands better. They weigh in at about 1 pound together. Next, I am bringing a pillow. I have a bad back, and having to be able to raise my lower back sometimes will be necessary for sleeping, so we'll bring that pillow. And then I have a thermarest. It may be a little bit overdoing it. It's a rated 6.9R thermarest, so it's really good for colder conditions, and I get cold, so I'm bringing this one just for comfort's sake. And that's my thermarest. It is easily blown up with the bag that it comes with. You just hook the bag up to the air hole and blow into the bag and push air into it. It takes about 6 pumps of that, and then it's fully inflated. Next, we have our tent. So Alex and I are going to be partners through hiking, so we are able to split our gear up. So he's taking the main tent and the poles, and I am taking the rainfly. It is the big Agnes Tigerwall UL3. And again, it's just the rainfly. Again, it is just the fly, and it's for a 3-person tent. So we have Alex, and we have myself, and then we have Miss Minnow who's coming, and we are also bringing Echo, so we'll need some room for these guys, and that's why we got a 3-person tent. Okay. It's the Nemo Disco bag, and it's a little bit warmer than my old sleeping bag. My old sleeping bag had a pouch on the back side to be able to put your sleeping pad in. It didn't have any insulation in the back, so I'm a mover in my sleep. I move constantly, and it just didn't work very well. It seemed like a good idea, but it just didn't work, so I got this guy, and it seems to be working much better. It has a hole for my sleeping, or my pillow, So if you want to use my pillow there, or I can put clothes in there as well, and that'll be a nice pillow spot. And then it also has this little lip here that I really enjoy having. I cuddle into my stuff, so I can grab onto that and cuddle it. I can also just lay it across my face if I get cold, and that works really well as well. And it also has these thermal gills, so if it gets too hot, I can slide those open and then it'll cool down. It is a sleeping bag that is made for women. Women and men tend to have different needs while sleeping, and they tend to get colder in different areas. So I have a women's sleeping bag, so my feet will stay warmer. And then it's also a spoon-shaped sleeping bag. Again, I move a lot in my sleep, so this will allow me to move and not feel claustrophobic. And then with my sleeping bag, I have this trash compactor bag that Minnow's sitting on. I carry it for just keeping my sleeping bag dry. That's one of the most important gears at night, is your sleeping bag, to stay dry and warm and to be able to sleep and let your body rest and heal. So that's what I'm going to use to protect it. And then my next thing is my sleeping bag liner. I'm bringing this because I get really cold. Even if it's warm out, I still get cold. It is sea to summit. It's supposed to add 15 degrees to whatever sleeping conditions you're having. Next, we have my clothes that I'll be wearing. I have this shirt that I got from DynoJet, my old job. It just so happens to be really good fabric where it'll dry fast if it gets wet. So that's the tank top I've decided to bring. I'm also bringing some compression socks. I've heard that the CDT in the beginning from New Mexico and going northbound, you tend to get your legs cut up. And on some of the hikes that I've been on, my legs can get cut up pretty bad. So I've decided to bring longer socks for the beginning of the trip. And they're also really healthy because they're compression socks, so they'll be able to keep your blood flowing better. So I'm bringing this low-key shirt. It's able to turn into a bag. It'll be handy for in town when we're in our town stops. I can put my debit card in there and my ID if I need it, and be able to walk around town without having to hold on to those things. So you just open the zipper and you just turn it inside out, and then you can zip it back up, and then it just turns into a little bag. These are your yoga shorts, just your normal spandex shorts. They have pockets, so that'll be handy. I'm gonna be wearing some gaiters. I've never really used short gaiters for hiking and trekking around. I always thought it was kind of a silly idea, but once I saw somebody wear them, it kind of just hit me in the head like, oh my god, that's amazing. You're not gonna get weeds and stuff in your socks and in your shoes. So I decided to get some and give those a try. You just slip them over your foot, and then you put your shoe on, and you put the strap around underneath your shoe, and this hooks onto your front lace. And then you have this Velcro side, and they send you little Velcro pieces so you can put on the back of your shoe, and they stick together so it stays on your foot pretty good. So I'll be using those guys. I have the sports bra that's antimicrobial, so it'll be able to fight off bad smells and stay cleaner for longer. And then it's also able to dry fast, so if I get wet, it'll dry super fast for me. And then I just got some Patagonia panties. They're breathable, so you won't, you'll be able to breathe down there, and that will just stay healthy for a woman's body. So I've got those. And then in my shoes, I've got my Salomon shoes. I started using Salomon shoes when I started Spartan races. I started off with a different brand, and they just were not that great. And then I tried these Salomons, and I just kind of fell in love with them. They have an amazing grip on the bottom, so they're kind of like walking on cleats, so they're really good for just about any terrain. walking on rocks, walking on snow, even walking in water. They are waterproof. So you can walk through puddles or across little streams and not get wet, so that'll be helpful. They have a no tie lace design, so you just kind of just pull that tight and then it tightens, and then you just roll this string up and you stick it in the little pouch that they have for you, and it keeps your laces out of the way. And then I'm also going to be bringing some sole inserts. I have bad knees, so I'm trying to get anything that I can use that will be able to help my bad knees. I got these at Walmart, and it kind of analyzes your foot to the best fit. They have different sizes and brands and shapes, and it tells you what the best fit is for your foot. So I just got those. They're not the most expensive insoles, but they are fairly good, better than the cheap ones that you can just stick in your shoes. And they seem to have worked in the past, so I'm gonna go with those. So that's everything that I'll be wearing. Next would be the clothes that I'm gonna be bringing to stay warm and just to change out of. I'm bringing just a simple little feathered down jacket with a hood. Pretty simple, very lightweight. I'm also bringing this rain jacket. It weighs in at like 5 ounces, and it's gonna be the first time using this, but Alex, my boyfriend, has one and he seems to really like it, and he goes through some rough terrain and it's still holding up. And then I've got another sports bra and another pair of panties, and then I'm bringing some darn tough short socks to switch out of once I'm done with my compression socks. And then I'm going to be bringing a bag to put all my clothes in. I think it'll help for another pillow source that I can stick in my sleeping bag, and I can just gather all my soft stuff and put it in that bag, and it will be more comfortable. Next, I'm gonna just be bringing some gloves just to stay warm. These gloves work with touch screens, so I'm gonna be able to use my phone. So if I need to look at a map or just anything in general with my phone that I'm going to be needing it for, I will still be able to use it while still keeping my hands warm. And then I'm going to be bringing a buff. Those come in handy when it's super sunny out. You can put it over your face and you're not going to get scorched. It seems like you'll get hotter, but it actually keeps you cooler. And then also for the cooler days, it'll keep your face warmer. And if it's super windy, you won't get wind burned either. So it's an all-around super handy tool to have. And then I'm also going to be bringing a lightweight sweater. I got this sweater specifically for the CDT. It dries really fast and it will be handy to have. Again, I get really cold, so trying to get layers that are super lightweight is super handy, or is super necessary for me to stay warm, as well as to be able to be ultra lightweight as much as possible. And then I have this really light shirt. It's really good fabric, so if it gets wet, it'll dry fast. I'm able to just fold up the sleeves, and then you can button it down so it stays up. And then it has a open back system on the back side, so it's breathable as well. So it'll be handy for those really hot days that I need to cover my body, as well as good for those days that I need to keep my body warm and cover my body that way. So all these clothes are very diverse, and you can use them for different things. Next is going to be my pants. So I have my shorts, and then I'm going to be bringing pants. These just are an REI brand pants. They are able to unzip, so they will be able to turn into shorts as well. And then they also have this very convenient side zip as well, so I can just slip them off over my shoes instead of having to take my shoes off. So those come in handy. I'm also going to be bringing this Sunday hat. You can wear it just like your normal hat, and you have your little thingy to make sure it stays on your head if it's windy, but it also can flip up, so if you want to get it out of your way, then you can flip it up, or keep it down. And then it also has this little flap in the back that will be able to protect my neck from the sun. And then you can also adjust it to your head size, so that's kind of handy. And then I'm just bringing some normal sunglasses. They're aviators. I'm just into aviators, so that's just what I'm bringing. And then I have a belt. I am going to be losing a lot of weight on this trip, so once I start losing weight where my pants don't stay up anymore, I'll be able to wear this belt. It's a stretchy belt, so it'll be able to move with my body when I need it to move. And then I also I'm going to be bringing a poncho. I do have my rain jacket, but I did buy this poncho. I was undecided of what direction to go, so I at least want to try it out in the beginning and see if I will use it more or I'll use it less. If I don't use it as much, then I'll just be shipping it back. But it fits over my backpack, so it'll keep my gear dry. And then it also has a little lip on the front, so it's kind of just like a hat, so it'll stay out of your face. I've used other ponchos in the past and it kind of just covers your face all the time, and that's annoying. So it'll have that and keep that out of my face. And then also be able to zip up and down, so it'll stay on you better. And then they also have sleeves, and my other ponchos didn't have sleeves, and that was just kind of annoying. Like, it was an open side and you would get wet sometimes from that, so that's closed off, so that's kind of handy. And then you have this little extra thing in the back, kind of like a hunchback. It'll keep your gear dry if it's raining out. So we'll start moving over to like the other gear that I'm going to be bringing. My water system, I'm just bringing some platypus bags. I have a 2-liter and 2 1-liters. They're very lightweight, so they're better than a water bottle or a Camelback or something like that. And they carry a lot of water, so that's super handy. And then I'm just going to be bringing my Sawyer water filtration system. Super easy. You just screw it on to your platypus and then you just squeeze it and it'll filter through. And then I'm also bringing this plunger so you can clear it out. You're going to be getting into some pretty gross water, so you want to clear it out every so often so you can keep the flow going in your filter. And then I just have my headlamp. It's a pretty good headlamp. I haven't had any troubles with it. I've had it for a few years now. The only thing that I don't like about it is it's not rechargeable, so we're going to be getting rechargeable batteries and putting a battery charger in our bounce box so I can recharge them in between stops. But it gets pretty bright at night, so that will be helpful. And it's waterproof, so that's super handy, and I just haven't had any troubles with it, so it's great. Next, I'm going to be bringing my pot to cook with. It is titanium, so it's really light, and it helps the water boil faster, so it doesn't need to use up as much fuel when you need to boil water. And then it is 650 milliliters, and it also has some convenient little handles to put it on your thing or to use it to drink. And speaking of drinking, I got this little hot lips thing. I'll be bringing tea with me, and so I got this little convenient hot lip so I can just drink it right out of there once I'm done boiling the water. And it's not very much weight and it doesn't take up any extra room, so I decided to get it. Next is my first aid kit. It just has some normal Band-Aids, some gauze. We're also bringing minnows, so it has some dog wrap in it. So it's basically a first aid kit for myself and for Minnow. Also has some tape. And then there's also some patches, so if I have any holes in my gear, I'm able to patch it up and continue to use it. And then there's also moleskin in there too, so there's going to be a lot of blisters, and that moleskin will come in super handy once I form those blisters. And then I'm going to have a little notebook. It's an all-weather notebook, so you can write in the rain, and it won't get ruined or anything like that. And I also have a all-proof pen, so I will be able to write in the rain as well if I need to. You never know when a good idea is coming in your head and you just need to write it down. So I just want to be prepared for that. And then I'm going to be bringing a spoon. A spoon is better to have than a fork, and you don't need to bring multiple utensils, so I'm just going to be bringing a normal spoon. And then this is going to be my stove. It's just a cat food tin, and Alex drilled some holes in it for me so fumes can escape. And then you just pour in some heat. That's used for vehicles basically in the winter time, so your engine and stuff and your gas lines don't freeze. And then I also have this piece of tin foil. It's going to act as a wind block. If you guys ever had to use any flame source in the wind, it doesn't really work very well. So I'll be bringing this, and it'll be able to just sit around it while I cook. And it's super lightweight, super convenient, and I can just fold it up and keep it in that cat food tin and I won't lose it. And then I'm also just going to be bringing some sunscreen. I got SPF 50. I easily burn, so I got the 50. And then I got these mosquito wipes. It's going to be the first time that I've really used them, but watching some other CDT videos and just from experience, having bugs around and mosquitoes around can just really turn a good day into a bad day. So I am bringing some mosquito repellent. And then just your normal toiletries. I'm bringing toilet paper, a toothbrush, some toothpaste, and then I also have this period cup because I am a woman. We do get our periods. And I've just been doing some research, and it seems like that may be the best option. I haven't used them very much, but I have used it just to get a little bit of use and to know how to use it. And it's a little awkward at first, but it works, and it'll be having less waste to deal with, and it's sanitary. So I'm decided to go that route. And then I also am bringing this butter balm. It is an all-around good thing to have. Like if you get chapped lips, you can put it on your chapped lips. And then I also get really bad dry skin, and you can kind of see on my fingers now, they're really dry. So that gets really painful, so that is just an overall good use tool for me. And then I'm just bringing a pair of headphones to listen to music, and then I have a compass just to be able to navigate while we're out there, and I don't want to pull my phone out. I don't want to rely on technology the whole time because things do run out of battery and stuff like that, so you should have a plan B. And speaking of plan Bs, I have this inreach device. It's a global tracking device. You guys will be able to track us the whole time while we're on trail. And then it also has an SOS button, so if Alex and I aren't together and something detrimental happens and I am still able to press that button, I will be able to count on search and rescue coming and helping me out if I'm in that scenario. And then I'm also bringing this ball. I have a broken back and I have really bad knees, so it's going to be really important that I'm stretching. And this ball will be really helpful to use on pressure points and stuff, and to be able to just work those things out so I can keep moving on the trail. And that's kind of all my other gear that I'm bringing. So now we will go to the electronics or the camera gear. So me doing this hike is more about my mental aspect and being able to heal. That's my main goal of this hike. It's not necessarily to do 3,100 miles, although I will be feeling very accomplished, and that'll be amazing to do. That's not my number one goal. My number one goal is to get healthy and get my mind healthy again. I've been working with my medicine man, and we have a regimen that should help me keep my thoughts straight, and just be able to help me get through the tough times. I am bringing tobacco. It's not to smoke, it's more so to give an offering to Mother Earth and to thank her for all that she is helping me with. And then I'm also bringing some sage to smudge and just to help cleanse me, and I will be using that on trail. And then I'm bringing my phone. It's the LG G7 ThinQ. It's waterproof, so that'll be handy. It's just your normal cell phone. Next is my watch. It's the Cento 9 Barrow. It is a relatively really good watch to keep track of steps, calories, heart rate, elevation gain. It's a GPS watch, so it'll be able to track where I'm going. It's a barometric watch, so it'll be able to tell the pressure changes in the atmosphere, and that has something to do with the weather, so it'll be able to kind of let me know if really bad weather's coming. Next, I will be bringing this little headband that is for a GoPro. So that is this guy right here. It's the GoPro Black 7, so it'll be my second source of camera. So those just kind of go hand in hand, and I'll be able to put it on my head for anything that I need my hands for. And then I'm going to have my Nikon camera. This is what I'm going to be using the most to shoot video and do time lapses and take photos. It's a Nikon Z6, and then my lens I just got is a 24 to 200 millimeter lens, so I'll be able to just kind of do all around things with it. And it's been working well so far. So that's my camera. And then I have this camera protector, a rain protector for my camera. And then you have this little drawstring where you can just cinch that up, and that just cinches around your lens, so it keeps the water out of it. And then you can still use it by putting your hand in at the other end, and you can see through the bag and stuff, so you can see what you're shooting still, and you just have the ability to use all your buttons and all your functions still, so that'll come in handy if the weather gets bad. Next, I'll be bringing this microphone. I'm able to hook it onto the cold shoe and then just plug it into my camera, and it also has this wind cover, so it'll be able to break up the wind sound while we're talking, so that'll come in handy. And then I am bringing this hard drive. It is a 2 terabyte hard drive designed by Lacey. So it's pretty rugged for the outdoors. So it'll keep our files safe. And then I'm going to be bringing 5 batteries for my Nikon. I have my tripod here. It weighs in just under 2 pounds. It is a Vanguard. I really like this tripod now, and the reason why I say now is because it wasn't always the greatest tripod. I have some engineer friends, so I had an engineer kind of redesign this guy. Reason being that it was stuck in this position. This head wasn't able to move before, and that just can get really dangerous with your camera sitting on top of it, and it gets windy, and it's just a lightweight item, so it'll just fall over really easy. So now I'm able to put that head down, and it'll be a little bit more safer for my camera to sit on in those windy conditions. So now it's a very nice tripod. Next, I'm just bringing some filters. I'm bringing some ND filters and a polarizer, and then I also have my clear filter just to protect my lens. I have an ND2 to an ND32 plus polarizer filter, and that's the main one that I'm going to be using. I'm also bringing an ND8 to ND2000 filter, and that will be really handy for like shooting waterfalls and stuff like that if we come across some really great shots. I don't want to miss those, so the ND32 just doesn't get dark enough for those, I feel like, so I'm bringing an even denser filter. And then I also just have my clear see-through filter, and that just protects your lens, so if I'm not using those darker filters, I will still have some protection on my lens, which I've already damaged once, so I have learned the hard way. And then I just have some microfiber cloths to keep my lens clean, and then I'm bringing some wet wipes that are made specifically for cameras. Reason being I'm bringing these is because sometimes when you touch your lens, your oil from your hands gets on your lens, and it's just kind of really hard to get off even if you have a microfiber cloth. This will be able to get off that oil better. And then I am bringing 4 cards for my camera. I'm bringing a CF Express card, and that's 128 gigabytes. And then I have 3 other XQD cards. One is going to be 120 gigabytes, and then 2 others are going to be 64 gigabytes. So hopefully that will be enough storage for while we're not in town. If not, we have a system to be able to back that up, and we'll have a more in-depth video of that. And then I'm also bringing my hood lens, my lens hood, and that's just to block sun rays and stuff if I need to do that. And that typically lives on my camera, but the filter that I have on my camera right now prevents this from going on. So it's just not on right now, but it'll usually be on. Also, I made this little contraption. It has this Peak Design camera clip, which is made to just sit on your backpack. You can loosen one of these screws, and then this detaches and you're able to swing it around your shoulder strap, and it can just sit there. But that puts a lot of strain on your arm and on your shoulder, especially when you're walking a really far distance, and it can just throw your body out of whack. So I made this little handy dandy contraption that I'm going to be able to just, it'll go and clip onto each side of my backpack on its straps, and it'll just sit on my chest. It'll be able to hold my camera on my chest and not be having so much strain on either side of my shoulders. And that should be a little bit better and healthier for my body. And then getting down to the last things that I'm bringing is I have a battery charger, so that'll just be able to charge my Nikon batteries. And then I also have this power bank, 15,000 milliamp power bank by Rav Power. It is able to charge really fast. Itself will charge really fast, and it'll charge items really fast as well. So that will come in handy. And then I'm also bringing this USB outlet. It has 4 slots, so I can charge 4 things at one time, and that'll come in handy, and it's all 3.0 or better. So it'll be able to fast charge all my devices as well. I'm going to be bringing cables to charge my things. I have 1 cable for my watch, and then I have a micro USB cable. I'm also going to be bringing 4 USB-C cables, just because I have 4 slots and most of my items are USB-C. So I'm going to be bringing 4 so I can charge 4 things at one time. And then I also have my bag that all the camera gear lives in. And that is all the gear that I'm going to be bringing on the CDT hike with us. So hopefully it's going to be a grand adventure.
And don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube and follow us on social media to stay up to date with this project.